Okay. I think we're better now. So, what's up, y'all? I know I just started, so let's calm down. I feel like every time I hop on live, I'm just really happy, and then I get kind of like, whoa, 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 doing a lot. So, let me pause, let me breathe. This is what I always say, if I were an animal, I'd be like a small puppy. I got easily excited. Okay, so anyways, today's video is going to be another like thought leadership type. I'm going to be reading something I wrote to y'all, which I feel called to do that like more this month. Um, so yeah, like I'm excited. Okay, so let me go ahead and pin my book into the chat before we start because I always forget to do it in the beginning and then I'm like pausing during the middle of the live. So let me put it in the chat so y'all can know where to buy my book. Hi Bomo, welcome. We're just getting started here. So I'm actually about to put my book where you can order my book in the chat before we get started because I always forget to do it and I'm just like, let me just do it now. I wish it was something I could do before I started going live, but I kind of had to like go live first and then put it. So yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well today. Like today's gonna be a really good conversation. I got some really positive feedback yesterday or from yesterday's live. Yesterday we talked about how a lust for life keeps you alive. So I highly encourage you to go and check out the replay if you were not a part of yesterday's live. It was just a good conversation about just maintaining a sense of joie de vivre, even though the world is kind of like, the external world is a little interesting right now. So today's video is going to be for my artists in particular, because I think that artists, we're going through an interesting time right now with the onslaught of AI and just like, I don't know, we're in a hyper industrial society where I think a lot of people are forgetting that humanity and like the preservation of our greatest contributions to the world have been through art, essentially. Like, I mean, obviously, yes, technology, planes, all of that, those are great contributions to humanity and to society. But like, when I think about the writings and the speeches and the artistry, like the artisanship, like the people who were able to create beautiful buildings that till this day we literally go and just look at buildings in Europe because of that artistry. So I just feel like it was on my mind to read something that I wrote called Artists Are a Symbol of Hope. Now is the best time to be one. So let me pull it up on my iPad. But before we start, I always like to do this. I always like to, set an intention, say a little prayer, just something positive to set the tone. Let me turn down the music a little bit while I do this though. I found a new playlist and so I've been vibing with that lately, like a new non-copyright playlist because the other one I found, they tried me. But yeah, I'm gonna let some Palo Santo and just invite some positivity, some divine flow into today. I just pray that God will speak through me. I pray that today's live will inspire and uplift people who need it. And I also just pray that, we will all exist in this energy of love because I think love is the most powerful energy in the world. And I think that when we're able to turn that love towards ourselves and towards our art practice and towards our creative production, it just gets a lot easier to navigate some of the harder, tougher parts of life. So yeah, and I'd say today's intention is creativity. Like, let's be creative rebels. Let's be creative people who stand up to the man. Like, I'm feeling very happy because of how do you say his name? Mamdani's win in New York. I just feel like I needed something like that. It reminded me of when President Obama won, kind of. Hey, Diplomatic Cigar, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute in the chat. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I just feel like I'm just, saying a few things before we get started. I'm going to be reading something that I wrote titled Artists Are a Symbol of Hope. Now is the best time to be one. But I do want to read a really positive comment that I got on yesterday's live. I want to share this with y'all because it made me so happy. Because sometimes when I go on live, I am like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, man, what am I doing? Like, is this actually worth doing? But then, like, when I get comments like this one, I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, it matters. Being an artist matters. This is inspirational for people. I actually got 2 people reach out to me about yesterday's live. So one person said, hello, I watched your live yesterday, and wow, I just tuned in at the right time. It must be meant for my spirit to hear this morning. I also purchased your book after the live stream. I love that. Like, that made me so happy. And the book she is referring to, my book here, is not Alaere Lifestyle, Force of Nature by Odemi Pesu. Yes, it is a book about divine feminine energy, decolonization of mind, body, and spirit, and just like honoring that divinity within, because we are all God consciousness, physical embodiments of that divine energy. And so I think this is like the perfect segue into reading what I wrote. And of course, it's going to be like the same way that I went about it yesterday. I read, I paused, I yapped, I read, I paused, I yapped. But I think that, this message, I hope that it can really inspire artists, because I've been getting some questions lately about like just navigating towards a full-time art practice, or like leaving corporate to focus on art and things like that. And I'm not gonna act like my journey has been perfect or anything. However, I think what grounds me is knowing that I'm contributing to the cultural archive in a very intentional way, and like the change that I'll be able to see generations from now as a result of my art, that is what like keeps me going, even when certain things are like, okay, this is a little bit tough. But I think also I'm just really excited because I know that with art there is no limit. Like, how in calculus, the limit does not exist. Yeah, with art the limit does not exist. Like, you can always create, you can always find new ways to express yourself. So with that being said, I'm going to start reading what I wrote here, and I'm going to upload all of these things to my blog eventually. But give me some time, because I literally just switched from Squarespace to Shopify. If you know anything about website hosts, it can be a lot. Okay, let me check into the chat. Jackie, okay, hold on, let me pull it up on my laptop because I'm gonna start squinting. Jackie Clapp says, good God, what is this? Her eyes. Y'all be gassing me in these comments. LOL. Thank you, though. I mean, hey, man, this is great for my self-esteem. Love that. I don't think it gets more beautiful than that. Thanks, Jackie Claps. I hope that you subscribe. I go live every weekday at 3 p.m. and I'm actually about to read something that I wrote for my artists, my feature, my artists across the world. I just feel like, yeah, my fellow artists, we can all kind of come together in community to encourage each other, like, because I think that everything that we're seeing happening around us, it can be cause for despair, but we can be the beacons of light and love that the world needs. So yeah, Jackie Claps, I hope you stick around and don't cry. Don't cry, but be sure to like the video and also subscribe. Okay, so I wrote here, artists are a symbol of hope. Now is the best time to be one. This is a bold claim because some people will tell you, no, you need to focus on AI. You need to focus on AI. You need to, like, every time I look at like these business things or whatever, they're like, yeah, that's what you need to do. But what if Ernest Hemingway and Chinua Achebe and Chimamanda Adichie and all of these like really prolific writers, what if they went and like studied medicine or something, or studied law, or like what if Faith Ringgold did not create visual art? Like, we wouldn't have a lot of what we have right now to inspire us. And so I think now is the best time to be an artist, because the world does need hope, and the world does need high vibrational energy, essentially. So let's begin. Artists are a symbol of hope. Now is the best time to be one. Oh wait, hold on. Let me drink some water before I start talking. Okay. So I wrote, despite the ways in which social media makes us attribute our value to likes and views, the real inherent value and worth of our art is tied to the connection and meaning it brings to our lives and those of our patrons, collectors, and enjoyers of our work. While I advise artists to remain business-minded, it is important that we don't commodify our creativity past the point of no return. I myself have found it a slippery slope between posting my work and then ultimately becoming too concerned with engagement metrics that really don't reflect my effort or skill as much as they do algorithmic influence. We are living in a world that needs the joy and bliss of creativity. And artists are some of the last people to really exist beyond the trends, and to allow the purposeful flow of spirit to express itself in whatever medium we choose. In this career, you have no choice but to be connected to the divine, or ultimately an energetic force that we can't explain, but that which fuels our passion and joy to create works that only existed in our minds and have the power through us to become flesh. Being an artist has allowed me to truly embody what it means to be a human expression of God consciousness. And I am finding that to be rare. Okay, so I'm gonna pause real quick because I'm like halfway through what I wrote. It's just like a small snippet, like it'll be a blog post kind of thing. And I'm gonna post this on my blog. Y'all just gotta bear with me because I still have to put up the magazine, but anyways, I digress. So let's pause. Let's go back to the beginning, okay? So I started by talking about the ways in which social media makes us attribute our value to likes and views, where the real inherent value and worth of our art is tied to the connection and meaning that it brings to our lives and the people who collect our work, the patrons of the arts, and just enjoyers in general of our art. And when I talk about like that, I'm not dismissing the very real influence that, you know, being popping on social media can have. Like, it can change your life, you know, being someone that people can see on the internet with your art, it can open doors for you. I've had that happen to me. Like, I've had opportunities, like brand partnerships, come from posting on social media. So I'm not knocking that. Like, I'm here on social media. Like, I wouldn't be on YouTube if I didn't see some value in it. However, I guess like what I'm trying to say is that for artists, that's not the only value of our work. Like, first of all, it starts with us. Like, it starts with the fact that we're able to take something that didn't exist before, and that divine inspiration, which a lot of us, we can't explain. Like, I can't explain, nobody really taught me how to be an artist. Like, I just am. And then I decided to like continue cultivating my skills and like continue to like learn more about the world and be more, I guess, like intentional about how I say what I want to say. And I feel like that is the valuable part. I think that the value of art, it's like, I don't know, you can't really define it. I think it's priceless. Like, I think the value of art is priceless. But I think that, you know, that emotional and that spiritual value that comes from being able to engage with artwork that reflects your identity or reflects your culture or inspires you to laugh and play. Like, this mural behind me that I painted is a representation of pleasure being my power, and like that joie de vivre being a sense of enlightenment for me. And so I think that it's important to like still stay grounded in that value, that inherent value, that intangible value that we see in artwork. Because when you think about it, I've seen like some videos on YouTube lately talking about why is the world so ugly now, essentially. Like, I swear I saw a video that literally said that. And I think, like, when you look at it, you know, we see corporations kind of taking like shortcuts. You know, we don't have the same architecture that we used to. When I go up north, especially like to New England, I love the old architecture of New England because I can see the artistry and I can see the intention and like just this dedication to art as a public good, and how that, you know, facilitated community and it motivated people. And now you go out and you just see like gray and beige and black, and like even like I saw a video talking about how even McDonald's is not cute anymore. Like it used to be I mean, I don't eat McDonald's, so I'm not even really sure, but I think it used to be like what, like they have the arches and then the outdoors would be like red and it would just like be more colorful essentially. And now like you see that McDonald's, they look all corporate and stuff, like even, you know, the places that you go to. And I think that with people, the way that I feel when I see that people are noticing things like that, I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all do actually realize that art has value. Y'all do see the value of art, because when things are not colorful, when things are boring and ugly, y'all notice it, and it makes you feel a type of way, huh? Yeah. So I think that, you know, it's always important to stay grounded in that, knowing that yes, art has an intrinsic value. It has a value that supersedes capitalism. It has a value that supersedes likes and views, because at the end of the day, the internet, like this is not real. I am real. Me, I am real. My art, this is real, okay? And like how you feel inside, that is real. The views and the likes, sometimes it's even bots, honestly. Like, I'm not, and like I said again, like I'm not knocking social media. Otherwise, like I wouldn't be on here, you know, making content and like creating a community. But I think that if you can stay grounded in the value that you bring to people and the ways in which you're able to inspire people to create, I think it makes being an artist a lot easier. And I think also like today, I saw an artist on Instagram. He's like really big. He has like 60,000 followers. And his art is really nice. And I'm like, it kind of reminds me of mine in a way, like the geometric elements and like just like his use of abstraction for figurative depictions in his work kind of reminded me of mine, but like it's definitely more of like a masculine expression, and mine is more feminine, soft curves types of things. And but anyway, Sha, so I'm looking at this guy, and he just started a, what's it called, a residency in Ibiza. But you know, I never know like how to say it. Is it, I know it's Ibiza or something like that, but anyways, I'll just be American and call it Ibiza. And so he has a residency there, and I remember old me, I used to like subconsciously compare myself to bigger artists on the internet that I would see, like, you know, the ones that have all the followers, and it's like they're more of an influencer than an artist in a way. And I would like kind of like subconsciously be like, man, oh my gosh, like how are they able to do XYZ? Like how are they able to get that? How are they able to do this? And now that I'm where I am, like I think I'm like at the tail end of being an entry-level artist. I've been doing this since officially like since 2023. And I feel like I'm going into that like middle stage of being an artist where it's like, okay, you know, I have some shows, I have some gallery shows under my belt, I have a few collectors, you know, I have some collectors of my work, and now I can take things to a new level. And like for me, that looks like what I've shared with y'all, opening or having a physical retail space where people can come and engage with my artwork on my own terms, like in a way that I've curated it and I have been intentional about the presentation. And so I'm looking at this guy and I'm just like, man, like, you know, I'm so happy that I'm in a place now where that subconscious comparison doesn't pop up. Like it's like oh wow, this artist was able to do that, like so that means that's possible. I wonder like if there's a way, since I obviously am attracted to like this opportunity, I wonder if there's a way I can do that in my own life, in my own way. And so I just feel like that's another thing, because here in the first paragraph I was talking about, social media makes us attribute our value to likes and views and things like that. I think that, if you can oh, okay, I thought I saw something in the chat. But yeah, I feel like going back to the social media thing and comparison and everything as an artist, like I think we don't have to necessarily lean into what the system wants us to think about ourselves and like that competition and all of that. Like I think we can lean more into inspiration and look at social media as just that. This is a form, it can be a form of inspiration, and it can be a form of community and a form of like helping us realize what opportunities are out there. Because there's some stuff that I didn't even know was a thing until I saw another artist do it. And I'm like, oh, wait, they can do that, so can I. Like, that means it's possible. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, so in the next paragraph, I said, while I advise artists to remain business-minded, it is important that we don't commodify our creativity past the point of no return. So what is the point of no return? I think that it differs for everybody. I've met some people who are like, I can never sell my artwork. Like, I just, no, I just create for me. I'm like, that's nice. I love that for you, but I'm gonna make money, okay? Like, I don't think it makes you less of an artist to want to make money or to want to make a living from your artwork. Like, that does not make you a sellout. It does not make you less creative or anything. Now, I do think that it is a slippery slope, though. It can be a slippery slope. Like, I even said this, I myself have found it a slippery slope between posting my work and then ultimately becoming too concerned with engagement metrics that don't reflect my effort or skill as much as they do algorithmic influence. And that's the thing, like, even in business, like, some things are more a reflection of the economy, the interest rates, the uncertainty in global markets and supply chains, than they are of you. Like, I had to like realize that this year, because this year was a very interesting year, I think, for me, because I had to shift gears a bit. I had the whole like lawsuit against that gallery that damaged my artwork, and of course I did win a court settlement, yay me. But it was just a lot, and I like think I had to like pause and really think about, okay, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Where do I want to go? Why do I want to go there? Like, I always like to take inventory. Like, as a business owner, every quarter I'm like strategizing so I can know, okay, like if I'm in Q3, what am I thinking for Q1 next year? And like we're in Q4 right now, so I'm already thinking about like Q1 next year, Q2, like what can I put in place? And so I don't think there's anything wrong with being business minded. However, I think as artists, because we are these symbols of hope, we are these entities essentially that bring love and light into the world, we do have to like be wary of getting too deep into the the clutches of capitalism. Yeah, like, because I think that point of no return is when you start creating based off of what you think will sell, and like when you start creating no more from that intuitive guidance that was what even like got you the opportunities in the first place, and you start thinking, oh, I have to create in this way and I have to present myself in this way. And the thing about it is, like, as artists, we're already dope, like we're already cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I go out, like, I'm starting to realize this. I'm like, oh, like, I'm cool because, like, people want to be my friend because I'm an artist. Like, people want to be around me because I'm an artist. And I, like, that's the same for you. Like, people genuinely are intrigued when they meet artists because it's like, oh, I've never, like, really, like, a lot of people are like, I've never known anybody who published a book, or I don't know any artists in real life. Like, a lot of times that's just not common. It's not as common as we think. Like, we may see, we're inundated with artistry online, but when I go out in real life, I don't meet that many artists. Like, unless I'm like, even in creative spaces, I have to go out of my way. I was just talking about this with the photographer. I modeled in a shoot on Sunday, and like one of the photographers, we were just talking about like just some things we've been navigating as creative professionals in Atlanta, and you know, just connecting on some like deeper type shit. And like I was just like, yo, like this is so rare. It's been very rare since I left college. Like it's not that common. And so I think bearing that in mind, it makes it easier to know like, okay, you know what? I don't have to get like too caught up in everything else because I'm already rare. I'm already special. I'm already unique. And so just by leaning into that, I can win. I was listening to a song by Cleo Sol today. I think it was Her Light, maybe. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. But there was a quote or a lyric in the song. Let me see if I can find it. And it made, oh my gosh, 333 as I check my laptop. I'm definitely into the angel numbers. I'm gonna take that as a good sign. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far. And oh my gosh, wait, I didn't even realize that people were in the oh my gosh, sorry y'all, I totally missed the chat. I did not even see these. Okay, might be, let me look on my laptop. LOL. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Jackie Claps, I totally missed everything that you said. Okay, let's pause and look at the chat. Because on my phone, it usually updates it, but I didn't see it. Okay, so Jackie Claps said, your parents must have been absolutely stunning in their prime. They were. My parents look good. They do. They do. Oh, thank you for calling me a walking piece of art. I appreciate that. Hi Maha333. I am doing wonderfully. Like, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm glad that you're here. Oh, well, mommy and daddy got together and created something that is divine. I actually have divine tatted. I'm not gonna show you guys though because that's a lot. But it's on my it's like lower on my leg. The word divine, because some guy called me divine in college. This guy I was seeing, and I was like, huh, no one has ever called me that before. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to get that tatted. So Jackie Clapp says, yes, I love old architecture too, and I agree that modern architecture is cold and boring. Yes, it is. And like, I think that's why I feel less self-conscious about like being this really colorful, vibrant person and like creating colorful art, because I used to kind of feel a little bit insecure about my artwork in the sense that like I would feel like, okay, when I look at the art that is popular, it's very minimalist and it's very like, at least in the Western side of things, like I'm sure, you know, when you go to the Caribbean, Latin America, Africa, like the art scene is very different. But here in America, where I live, a lot of the art is very like beige, black, boring. Like it's not it. And like even in the interior design, I'm like, where is the passion? Where is the passion? You know, like you said, Jackie Claps, it lacks passion. Okay, let's see. Michael Weather said, Alaere Lifestyle, you're a beauty manifesting. It's not the art you make, it's the art you made of, period. That's kind of poetic. LOL. Michael, you're very funny, but thank you. Wow, you guys are so nice. You are the most gorgeous woman. The most gorgeous. Thank you. I'm not opposed to superlative type of compliments. You're literally appealing to. Do I have Leo in my chart? I definitely have some Leo in my chart, and I feel like you're talking to it right now. Hi Jojo. Hi, welcome. I have not seen you in forever on the chat. Where you been? Where have you been? It's good to have you back. Michael Weather says you make it look incredible. Thank you, thank you. So gosh, I can't remember what I was like looking for. But excuse me. Oh yes, there was a song I was listening to by Cleo Sol today, which y'all should totally check her out. She's a really great artist. She makes like kind of like modern neo soul with jazz influences, and like she's just like really good. She's a really great artist, and she's based in London. She's English, and I think she's like Jamaican and English or something, and like Asian. I don't know. She's just cool. Cleo Soul is really dope, and she has this song where she was talking about. I'm gonna read the lyric. When you trust, I think it was like when you trust intuition, you win or something. But I don't want to misquote her because I was listening to the song as I was. Oh yes, it was Her Light. So she says, shit, where is it? I'm literally like, okay. So it's in verse 2. She said, there ain't no competition. When you trust intuition, you win. Just close your eyes and listen. Get out the stupid system somehow. And that is what I am trying to tell y'all. Okay, we are symbols of hope. We are harvesters of love and light. We are beacons of the divine. Like, as an artist, that is who you are. That's what we are. And I was really thinking about that because when she said, when you trust intuition, you win, I feel like a lot of artists have to like realize we don't have to succumb to trends, and we don't have to really like dim ourselves, restructure ourselves to try to fit into what the world says. Because when you really think about it, these trends are always changing. Even look at feminism. Feminism had how many waves? Like, how many waves? You know what I'm saying? So it's like trends are always changing. Expectations in society are always changing. Today is AI, tomorrow it will be robots. Then there's going to be another trend that says, ooh, we're going to reject this and go back to how we were before. Like, trends are always going to come and go. But as artists, I think that we are the trendsetters. It's like what I said before. Like, you're just dope by being an artist. Like, you don't really have to try to be cool. You don't really have to try. Like, you just have to be you. And I think figuring out the best way to express who you are and like your unique message that you have to say, that's really how you win. And like trusting that intuitive guidance. Like, for me, it was intuition that told me, okay, you should start going live. I think that would be better, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was getting very despondent. I was allowing myself to succumb to the melancholy, and I told myself, no, we must resist. And I realized I just lacked community, and it's really tough to make community with, or to engage in community with other artists, because of just how siloed we are through these digital means. So yeah, okay. Let's see, let me go back into the chat. Masmola says, looking stunning today. Period, boo. Thank you. Wow, y'all are so nice. Y'all are really nice. Michael, what? Actually, oh, wait. To those of you guys who are just joining, please subscribe. Michael Weathers, I hope you subscribe. Who else? Jackie Claps, I hope you subscribe. I invite you. I go live every weekday at 3 p.m. Michael Weathers says, you are to resist, I can't deny you are a true jewel. Jojo says, hi. Hi, Jojo. And thanks, Michael. Very nice, very nice. Michael, if you would love my beautiful energy in your home, in your space, definitely check out my website, www.AlaereLifestyle.com. It's literally just my name, my YouTube name.com. Okay, so yeah, trusting that intuition, that intuitive guidance is what will help us to win as artists. We have got to resist the algorithmic conditioning that tells us that we have to niche down, or we have to do this, or we have to do that. Like, F all that, okay? Like, forget all that. That's all noise, okay? Like, obviously, I think it's important to know about your industry. Like, the art industry is an actual business. It is an actual ecosystem that there's a lot of different things to understand. But I think once you understand it, that's when you can start rebelling, and that's when you can start innovating, okay? So let's see, what else? So I said we are living in a world that needs the joy and bliss of creativity. And artists are some of the last people to really exist beyond the trends and to allow the purposeful flow of spirit to express itself in whatever medium we choose. That is so true. Okay, like I think that artists, we stand out because we are in touch with something that a lot of people left in their childhood, which is imagination, which is a perfect segue because I wanted to. So I've been reading this book for a hot minute. It's like a compilation of different books. It's a thick one. It literally looks like a Bible. Like this thing is so big, and I'm only a little bit more than halfway done. Like I'm almost done. But it's a book by Neville Goddard called The Power of Imagination, and I highly okay, wait. Sorry, I thought I dropped something. I highly recommend this book because if you're into law of attraction, manifestation, reprogramming your subconscious mind, just harnessing your God consciousness and all of that, this book will help you. But what I said here about just us being these vessels through which the flow of spirit can express itself in whatever medium we choose. I think that it goes also into manifestation. Artists are very powerful manifestors. We have the ability to see something in our minds and then turn it into something real. And that's God mode. You know what I'm saying? Not to be sacrilegious or anything, but that is God mode. That is us expressing that God consciousness that is in us. When God created us and God formed us in God's image, that meant that if we go and tell a mountain to move, it can move. If we use our hands to create something, it can come to life. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel the ways that artists can lean into that energy more without being bogged down by what society says and the trends and this and that, I think it's just by staying connected to that higher realm, that higher divinity, And so anyways, in this book I wanted to share because I think it goes along with how we don't have to subjugate ourselves to under the algorithm and under what society tells us we should be. So in The Power of Imagination, in the book, so this is just a compilation of Neville Goddard's popular books under one. And so in his book Feeling is the Secret, this is where I'm reading from. And it says that whatever the mind of man can imagine, man can realize. All objective, visible states were first subjective, invisible states, and you called them into visible states by assuming the feeling of their reality. Always imagine and expect the best. Realization of your wish is accomplished by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. A change of belief is confirmed by a change of expression. And then he also goes on to say, the part you play on the world stage is determined by your conception of yourself. The acceptance of the end automatically wills the means of realization. And so I wanted to share some of those tidbits, literally just different areas that I highlighted is what I just shared. And why I wanted to share that is because as artists, our self-concept is so powerful. It has the ability to change the world. If we believe that we are unique and called to a higher purpose that not only grounds us but pushes us to continue to create and pushes us to continue to innovate in our style and just be expressive and just be light and inspirations to everyone that we meet. If we can continue to do that, then our world will reflect that back to us. And it's all about just embodying that divinity and embodying that sense of self, because Neville Goddard says, a change of belief is confirmed by a change of expression. And the actions and events of the day are effects, they are not causes. So what that looks like for us as artists is that what we see around us in the world, war, poverty, lack consciousness, violence, division, all of that, that is not something that we have to internalize. We are the cause. Everything that we see outside, the houses we see, the roads we drive on, the cars we drive, the books we read, everything is an expression of consciousness. So we are the cause, not, we don't have to be the effect of the world around us. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit like more spiritual, but this is a really good book though. Like, I think every artist should read this book, The Power of Imagination by Neville Goddard. And there's a lot of like YouTube like channels that talk about Neville Goddard as well. Okay, Maha 333 says, hello sis, with the sad face. Why the sad face? why these emojis? These are very interesting choices. Let's turn that frown upside down. I'm gonna send a heart. Oh wait, hold on. I accidentally sent a different emoji. I'm gonna send a heart. Yay. I love you guys. Like, thanks so much for being here. I get kind of sappy midway and I'm just like, wow. Like, I genuinely look forward to these sessions. Like, and today is my 30th one. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. My selfie light, I forgot to charge this yesterday, but don't worry, I have a backup. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I just really love like talking to y'all and just sharing some of my gems from my artist journey. Like, ooh, hold on. Okay. Alrighty. And we're back. Although this one is not as bright as the other one, but I think y'all can see me. Ooh, it's a little oily. But okay, so anyways, child, let's continue. So I said also that in this career, you have no choice but to be connected to the divine, or ultimately an energetic force that we can't explain, but that which fuels our passion and joy to create works that only existed in our minds and become flesh. Being an artist has allowed me to truly embody what it means to be a human expression of God consciousness, and I am finding that to be rare. So many human beings are separated from the power, that God power within. Like, so many of the people that we encounter are unaware of their power and unaware of this magic that we have within us. And I think that as artists, like, without even knowing it or realizing it, we honor that power. So hold on, let me get a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, like, so I also want to share a quote that I put in here by Cornel West. So I said Cornel West, who was a U.S. presidential hopeful for 2024, is an acclaimed scholar and thought leader in religion and African American studies. And during a visit to Brown, he said, so this is what he said. He was asked by Trisha Rose, Dr. Trisha Rose, who is a professor of Africana Studies. And she asked Cornel West how to carry on his honor and legacy, and said, what should Black studies be going forward given the time we're in now? For Cornel West, there isn't one answer, though he urged the audience to engage with the performing arts. He also urged young people and established scholars to value intellectual pursuits over professional success. We have to be true to ourselves, Cornel West said. Something is at stake bigger than just your career. Let's say it one more time. Something is at stake bigger than just your career. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, as artists, it's bigger than our likes and our sales and stuff. What is the archive going to show? Like, years from now, 50 years from now, what are they going to look at to see what the cultural zeitgeist was? Is it going to be like TikToks? Well, what are they going to look at? They're going to look at paintings. They're going to read the poetry that was being written. It's the reason why to this day we still read books like Pride and Prejudice. And we have like how many adaptations of Pride and Prejudice? You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I'm curious, like how many? I don't even know. But there's a reason why we still read Jane Austen. There's a reason why we still read Sylvia Plath. There's a reason why we still read all of these women, because if not for them, we wouldn't know what women were feeling and what women were navigating at those times when women did not have a voice in society. And so as artists, like if you're a Black artist, if you're an African artist, you're a Latinx artist, you're a Muslim artist, you're a Middle Eastern artist, a Palestinian artist, you know, like you are so integral to the preservation of your culture and your cultural legacy, and history will remember us. History will seek us out because it is art that is going to show humanity what we were able to do with our divinity and what we were able to do with that God consciousness within. It's the same reason why, like, you know, we still look to the Harlem Renaissance in Black communities and beyond. Like, we still look to the Harlem Renaissance because that was a time, I think, was that after Reconstruction? I believe. Oh, I need to brush up on my African American history. But yeah, like I believe the Harlem Renaissance was after Reconstruction, and you had a lot of Black people coming from the South and going up to Harlem, going up to Chicago, like going up to northern, more urban cities and seeking opportunities and using their art and using their creative expression to create new legacies of hope and resilience beyond slavery and beyond, you know, the racism that they experienced in the South. And even to this day, we still look at the art that was created during Jim Crow and in a post-Jim Crow society. Like, we still look at that and we take those lessons and those stories, those visual stories that were in the artwork, and we take that and we say, okay, how can we move forward, or how can we keep this legacy of hope going? It's the same reason why anthropologists, cultural anthropologists, we look at the like cave scratchings from centuries ago, because art matters. It is bigger than just our career. And like, I think that if you're struggling right now as an artist to kind of like have the impetus to move forward and to have the courage and the confidence to keep going and just the motivation, I hope that can like ground you in knowing that you have a deeper purpose. Like, there's something greater than you that requires you to create, and it needs you, and that is the future generations. They need you. You know, we need more women artists, we need more Black artists, we need more Indigenous artists. So yeah, I feel like I was really impassioned about that, but like, I don't know, I really truly believe this. And even though we're in this age, it's a weird time, like people want to create robots to replace art, but I'm just like, why not make a robot that can like clean my toilet or something? Like, I don't understand, like, and I don't get it, you know, this push to like get robots and digital automation and artificial intelligence to replace artists, which they can't. They can't. I think this is another aside that I'm going to put in to today's video, but I do think artists can harness AI. Like, I think, like, for example, as a fashion designer, I had some sketches and I like drew them and stuff, and I like had an idea, but before I started cutting up material and paying for stuff, I was like, I want to see how these would be rendered physically. AI can help with that. AI can help you say, okay, like turn this sketch into something, or turn this idea, like make it into something physical on a model, and let me see if I even want to go forward with this idea. Perfect. That's awesome. But like this idea that artificial intelligence can replace artistry in itself, nah. Because here's why. I think our identities and our culture and our ancestral coding, especially if you're Indigenous or African, like our ancestral coding, these systems do not know anything about that. They really don't. Like, what do I don't even know. I don't even know if what's the guy's name? Sam Altman, is that OpenAI CEO? I don't even know if he's even like talked to an African before in his life. I don't know. Like, I went to Brown with people who only had like one Black person in their school. Like, I went to Brown with people who I'm pretty sure maybe never really spoke to a Black person in modern times. Like, it's very real. So it's like, I think that especially when it comes to like Black artistry, indigenous artistry, and just like non-Western artistry, we are at an advantage right now because the West is always going to try to infuse a soullessness into things, and that's just not who we are. Like, that's just not what our cultures do. That's not what our ancestors did. And like, we wouldn't be here today if our ancestors did not keep our culture alive through that artistry, through the fashion, through the food, through the music, through everything, the sculptures, you know? And so, yeah. So, okay, I'm going to continue reading what I wrote here. The next phase of society's development will require dreamers, artists, creatives, and visionaries to actually bring life to ideas of hope. Hold on. Sorry. It was buffering for a quick second. Might be, y'all. I mean, honestly, it wasn't my fault, so... It's not really my be. Like, I can't control these things. But, I'm gonna just start all over. The next phase of society's development will require dreamers, artists, creatives, and visionaries to actually bring life to ideas of hope, resilience, transformation, and evolution. Now is our time, my fellow artists. I feel it so deeply that as we near our own political revolution, in which America will have to reckon with its history and turn away from an overly industrial outlook on life, artists will be a major part of that shift in consciousness. Why? Because we were created for this reason, to show people that it is possible to create something new, even in the midst of darkness and turmoil. It's so much bigger than you and me. When we create, we are providing a service for the betterment of humanity. And c'est fini, c'est tout. That is all from today, which honestly, like right on time. So as we close out, I want to say a few things. So let's really like get into what I just read. The next phase of society's development will require dreamers, artists, creatives, visionaries. So this does not mean that it's only painters. Like, I'm talking the painters, the poets, the playwrights, the dancers, the ballerinas, the film directors, everybody, like the documentary makers, the sculptors, the artisans, like that is what this next phase of society's development is going to require. Because right now, like I just said in my in the rant I just did, there is this push to automate that which is a reflection of humanity's magic. Like, I hope that makes sense. Like, I don't know how else to say this and to express this, but it's like, it doesn't make sense. And because it doesn't make sense, it will not thrive. Like, it just won't. Like, I will never want to hang up something that AI did. I will never want a sculpture that a robot made, because the whole appeal of art is like, wow, where did this artist come from? Where did this artist, like, what did this artist have to overcome to be able to express themselves in this way? Why did this artist choose to say this in this way? Like, those are the questions that I think we're starting to see people ask. And like, it matters. And it's through those questions that people are also able to feel connected to the art that they engage with. That's the reason why an artist as prolific as Amy Sherald is able to make such an impact in the modern art space, because the ways that she expresses the Black experience is so unique, and it's so poignant. It's like, yeah, like this is just who she is, but there's no way that AI could mimic that. There's just no way, because AI has never been a Black woman. AI has never been a Black woman in the South. AI has never been a child of immigrants. AI has never had to overcome trauma. Like, that is what art is. It's alchemy. And a lot of times for us artists, like, it's the alchemization of pain and trauma and hurt into beauty. And like, that magic is just something that can't be replaced. And it's a hill that I'm gonna continue to stand on. All right, like even if you're an artist and you're getting it out the mud right now, you're just like, yo, I'm just trying. Like, oh Demi, I hear you. This sounds nice. Like, yay, woo woo. But like, I'm struggling. Like, I hear you. I really do. But I just want to implore you to like stay the course as an artist, because we are symbols of hope. The next phase of society's development, this new world, the old paradigms that are crumbling. I mean, Mamdani just won in New York. Okay, like that, I was clutching my pearls. I was like, oh my gosh, like is this gonna happen? And like it actually did. And I think that it is indicative of the facts that people are fed up with the old ways of thinking. People are fed up with just the old paradigms of division and these false dichotomies and all of that. And I think artists, we represent hope, we represent resilience, transformation, and evolution. So I said, I feel it so deeply, or now is our time, my fellow artists. I feel it so deeply that as we near our own political revolution, in which America will have to reckon with its history and turn away from an overly industrial outlook on life, artists will be a major part of that shift in consciousness. And yeah, I mean, basically it's everything I just said. Like that shift in consciousness, like in I can't remember what wave of feminism it was, where there were like consciousness raising meetings in which like women would get together and just like talk about issues and things like that. But I think like as artists start to like find our own pockets of community in our respective cities, we will begin to see that similar type of like consciousness raising movement happen. It's definitely happening. Like even like the artists I've been connecting with, like at the shoot that I did on Sunday, the photographer I was talking to and everything, like I was just like, okay, it's not just me. Like it's not just me feeling this like shift. Like we gotta get to it. Like there's stories that we need to tell. There's just movements like we need to represent. Like, and I don't know if I would say all art is political, but in today's realm, like if you are an identity or you come from a background that has been politicized, like I'm Nigerian American, so I feel like my whole identity is always politicized. Like how I wear my hair, everything is always politicized, even when it's not me doing that, you know. But like just by virtue of being a Black woman, being an African woman, being Nigerian, being a child of immigrants, all of that stuff, like I take all of my own experiences, which are colored by those identities. I'm not saying my identities like define all of who I am, but my experiences are infused with some of those identities, and I pour my experiences into my artwork. I pour those stories and those triumphs, those highs and those lows, I pour it into my artwork. And I think that 50 years from now, there is going to be a Black woman who sees my artwork in a gallery or a museum or wherever, and she's going to feel that she can reckon with something deep in her life or something in her lineage that maybe she just could not really wrap her mind around. But my art is going to help her do that, because my books and like my book and my art is already doing that right now. So it's gonna do that years from now. And like same with you, your art is already inspiring people in real time right now. Like if you're an artist, your art is already making people feel something deeper. So it's only going to compound as the years and the decades and even the centuries go on. I don't know if y'all watched that series on Apple TV called See. But I remember there was so basically the premise of the show was like the whole society is in this like post, what is the word? Like is it like dystopian maybe? It's like a dystopian society-ish kind of, where like humanity killed off itself and people who emerged were all blind, and so like everyone in society is blind and they view people who can see as witches. And so there's this whole thing. It's a good show, and it has Jason Momoa, his fine self. that was also a reason why I enjoyed the show. But anyways, there was a scene in the show where the two people who could see, two people, one was a guard and like one was like a rebel, like a mercenary kind of thing. And these two women who could see, they're like looking at art and they're in this like apartment and they're just like in awe, like, wow, this is what humanity really was like. And I just feel like, yeah, I mean, that's what's gonna be happening years from now. Well, not people going blind and everything like that, but I just mean people taking the time to look at what was created at this particular moment in history, which we are living in history. And I think that our art is going to have so much more value years from now, not just monetary value, I mean, but like that spiritual and emotional and intellectual value that allows future generations to understand where they came from and have hope for where they're going. So I said that we're gonna turn away from an overly industrial outlook on life. Yeah, like, I mean, look at the white collar recession that we're seeing. Amazon just laid off 14,000 people, corporate, okay? Like, and you're probably like, okay, we're artists, what does that have to do with us? What I'm saying is a lot of people are realizing these false ideas of stability that have been shoved down our throats. Like, I'm telling you, how many people have told me, oh, you should just get a real job. Like, even just recently, someone, you know, an older uncle type was like, oh, you should just get a real job. You should just do this, da 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 da. And I'm like, this is my job. Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm Confucian. Like, this is my job. Like, just like you being your VP, da 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 da, is your job. This is my job. And I mean, I can only imagine what would have happened if someone told Chinua Achebe, get a real job. If someone told Ama Ata Adu, get a real job. Or if someone told Ernest Hemingway, get a real job. Like, what would have happened? You know, but those were their jobs. And this is your job as an artist. Like, this is your job, to bring love and light and beauty into the world, and to do it in a way that is only unique to you. Like, it's a real job, and it is worthy of respect. It is worthy of value. And I said we were created to show people that it is possible to create something new, even in the midst of darkness and turmoil. And it's so much bigger than you and me. When we create, we are providing a service for the betterment of humanity. So, I mean, yeah, I laid it all out. Like, yeah, pretty much what I just said. The ability to show people that you can still create beauty even in the midst of darkness. Like, the world is bleak right now, but I'm in my studio. I'm surrounded by joy. I'm surrounded by light. So it's like I have no choice but to internalize the subliminal messages that I have infused in my artwork. Those messages of divine feminine power, of resilience, of hope, of light, of sovereignty. Like, yeah. And so that's why I'm really excited to very soon, I mean, Q1 2026, soon in that way, open up my physical retail space for y'all to enjoy my artwork in a like in-person setting, because I do think that there is something about being able to engage in person that makes art feel even that much better. That's why I love museums and galleries, but I do think that the art scene itself is even changing as well. It's evolving. And I think that there's been a lot of like gatekeeping paradigms that were like the norm. And it oftentimes kept artists who come from underrepresented backgrounds from being able to reach their communities, because it's like, how many communities in certain cities have galleries and have gallery spaces? So we have to create our own. Like, in Atlanta, the art scene is really still, it has room to grow, to say the least. And I mean, who's gonna do it? It's gonna be us. It's gonna be the artists. You know, I'm gonna be a part of that movement. I am a part of that movement. And that feels really good. It feels really amazing to be a part of something that's bigger than me. And so, yeah, I hope that, you know, that can inspire you. But I'm going to upload this. I promise I'm going to make it into a blog on my website. But let me actually put my website in the chat. So that way, like, during the live replay, if anybody wants to see it as well, they can. Okay, Let me see. Shop my art here. Okay, let me put in. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation. Like, I just really have been thinking about how artists, we have a higher calling, and like it's a really special one, and I don't think we should let society or algorithms or just the doom and gloom and the fear get us down. Like, I don't think that we should do that. You know, I think that we should remember that there's value, there's intrinsic value in what we do and in what we create. So I am going to read a snippet from my book, Force of Nature by Odemi Pesu, which you can check out globally. It is available for purchase on Amazon, Waterstones if you're in Europe, Booktopia if you're in Australia, and various independent bookstores across the United States. And so I am working towards 1 million readers of my book. It already has happened. I've declared, I've decided in Jesus' name, it's done. Because I think that, why not? But yeah, so I'm gonna read from the introduction of Fire. And I feel like this is just like a good end to today's live, because I want y'all to feel emboldened by that inner fire and that inner passion. I mean, this is Scorpio season. That's what Scorpio season is all about. It's that intensity, that passion. But it's not always, to me, about like doing something with it in the sense of like exerting it in, you know, the physical realms of work that society, Western patriarchal capitalist society, tells us to do it. And I think that intensity and that passion can be turned inwards, and like we can use that to create the artwork and create the beauty within, and then emanate that outwards, because that's really what artwork is. It's just me and my energy on canvas. You know, or like it's your, like when you're writing, it's just your thoughts and your feelings on paper. So anyway, Chef, let's read Fire. So Fire is a chapter in my book, Force of Nature, and it is that which emboldens us. That's the subtitle, and this is the introduction that I'm about to read to y'all before we close out for today. So I wrote, when life scorches us, we must bury the remains of our old selves and trust that our phoenixes will rise again from the charred remains of what we left behind. As we levitate from fallen embers, we must do so boldly and without fear or apprehension of what is to come. Excuse me. Revolution's inferno is an uncontainable wildfire, setting souls ablaze and igniting the desire to fight for what is right. Let the warmth of your heart's fire radiate freely and welcome the change that happens when you do. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm going to start it. I'm going to read it one more time because I feel like my cough interrupted the flow. So we're going to read it one more time, so we can really deep it, okay? I feel like with poetry, I always have to like reread it. So I said, when life scorches us, we must bury the remains of our old selves and trust that our phoenixes will rise again from the charred remains of what we left behind. As we levitate from fallen embers, we must do so boldly and without fear or apprehension of what is to come. Revolution's inferno is an uncontainable wildfire, setting souls ablaze and igniting the desire to fight for what is right. Let the warmth of your heart's fire radiate freely and welcome the change that happens when you do. Oh, I love this chapter. This is one of my favorite chapters in my book. And like, I mean, it's so true. You know, Revolution's inferno is an uncontainable wildfire, setting souls ablaze, is something that sticks out to me. And I mean, we are Revolution's inferno. We are that uncontrollable fire, setting souls ablaze. It is our art, that passion, that joie de vivre, that vibrance that decides to, you know, it challenges what society is trying to do right now, or what the powers that be in society is trying to do right now, which is keep us controlled, keep us subdued. And art says no. Art says, I'm going to be bold, I'm going to exist, I'm going to be here. And it's that presence that is resistance to, you know, that which wants to control us, essentially. It's that presence that is a resistance to the colonization of our minds, bodies, and spirits. And so, yeah, I hope that y'all enjoyed today's conversation. Some CTAs. Definitely check out my artwork at my website, which I've placed in the chat. I've pinned it at www.AlaereLifestyle.com. And you can collect beautiful artwork, like what's behind me there. I actually have this painting that I was thinking about today. Oh, it's so big. Let me bring it over here. I actually have this painting called We're All Stardust. Oops. It's not available on my website because I just have prints right now. But this is it. And I was thinking about this painting today, We're All Stardust. It's like really big. Yeah, I was thinking about this painting because I feel like, you know, when we realize that we are all stardust, like we were all created from the same materials as the cosmos and the earth and the, you know, the planets and the stars and everything, it makes you realize like, wow, like we're all just really special. Like we're all these unique but important parts that are all like, you know, harmoniously intertwined and connected through universal consciousness. And I think that like our artwork, because we're all connected, our artwork has the power to, just by us creating, like it has a butterfly effect. Like you being an artist and creating has the power to make someone else like on the other side of the world realize that, wow, they get to be special and they get to be creative. Hi Avni Sharma, welcome to today's live. I'm just talking about my artwork, which actually, let me like stand up and show you guys. I'm about to close out, but I like to like share an artwork every time before on every live. But this is called We're All Stardust, and like I thought about this because I watched this film called Before Sunrise, and that was a quote in the film, and I had never seen it before, and I was just like, intuition is a funny thing. Synchronicity is a funny thing, because I was literally just thinking about like some of the deeper spiritual beliefs that have been guiding me as an artist and like in this journey of expansion and creative expansion. And we're all stardust is something that grounds me. Like we're all connected, we're all created from the same energy and the same particles and like makeup as the stars, the moon. Like we're all just like, I don't know, we're all just beautiful works of art created by God. And I feel like the best way that we can honor that as artists is to continue creating. So Avni Sharma says, you're so beautiful in your work also. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I go live every weekday at 3 p.m. So I invite you to subscribe. Oh wait, I will not be here tomorrow. I'll be live on Friday, but tomorrow I actually have a photo shoot. And so I'm back modeling this year. I've been modeling like here and there, like over the last few years, but now I have photographers who want to work with me to actually like expand both of our portfolios. And so I'm like, yes, this is great. So I do have a shoot tomorrow afternoon, but I'll be back on Friday. But ordinarily I go live every weekday at 3 p.m. And we talk about like divine feminine energy here, art, fashion, artistic fashion, I should say. I show behind the scenes of me creating my art and like my fashion line. And I'm also an author, so I actually just read from my book, where did I put it? That is so odd. I just read from it. Well, I don't know where I put my book, but I literally just had it. That is so funny. But anyways, my book is called Force of Nature by Odemi Pesu. And this is actually going to bother me. Where did I put it? Like, we just read it. LOL. Oh my gosh. Like, you know what? It's fine. Oh wait, okay, I found it. I was sitting on it. I was like, I just had it. Okay, so this is my book, Force of Nature. And yeah, you can check it out. So at what time do you come live? And also tell from which country are you, because there could be time difference. Yeah, I'm in the United States. I'm in Georgia, so Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. EST is when I come on live every weekday from the United States. Where are you tuning in from? I'm curious. Here, like, we always got people from like India, South Africa. There's been people from the Middle East as well tuning in. It's so interesting because I'm like, I don't always get too many people from Georgia, but I get people from like Philly and Texas and Cali as well. So it's like, we are a global high vibrational community over here. And I would love for you to subscribe and become a part of that. And the last thing I will say, so we've talked about my art, we've talked about my book, you said to subscribe. Oh yes, okay. So I also want to show you guys a bag from my fashion line. Oh my gosh, Avni, it's 3 a.m. You must be a night owl. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we do get a lot of people from India on here, so I love that. But okay, I'm about to log off, so you can also go to sleep soon. But this is from my fashion line, the Alaere fashion line, and this is a bag I designed. So obviously got to do a little commercial at the end. So this is my Lover Girl bag with my artwork. This is 100% Napa leather, real genuine leather with gold-plated hardware, handmade by artisans in London. I work with a studio in London, and they helped me print my artwork onto this Napa leather. And then also there's a faux suede lining and everything. Just a beautiful bag, and it smells, I love the smell of leather. And yes, I use the same type of leather that Prada does. Okay, like, I gotta keep my stuff high quality. But yeah, so you can shop my wearable art at AlaereLifestyle.com. And right now I am currently, so I have 3 bags, 3 hobo bags. There's the Lover Girl bag, there's the Star Girl bag, which is like a really pretty blue ombre that I painted, and then the Rose Sunset bag, which is also like an ombre. And I really wanted to create like high vibrational statement fashion pieces because I love fashion. I mean, as a fashion designer, as a model, like, I love fashion. However, I'm really bored with what I've been seeing lately. Like, it's just not giving. And so I'm like, I wanted to create, you know, luxury apparel that can speak to the artist, the rainbows in a grayscale world, as I like to say. And then so I'll also be adding some hand-painted pieces as well. So here's a pair of jeans that I hand-painted. Oh, I just feel like it's just also colorful and so pretty, so feminine, so earthy, so high vibrational. And yeah, so I'm currently, the jeans are not for sale because those are just jeans that I created for myself and to like wear out and kind of advertise what I do. But I am painting a couple of leather coats that I will be selling on my website, and there will be more to come. I'm just I'm just like putting everything together on my own, and eventually when my sales and like my cash flow is at a consistent place where I can like outsource certain things and have money for payroll, that will be a thing. Okay, Avni Sharma says, I appreciate your hard work. As here is only 3 people, but still you are giving your best. I personally love your efforts, dear. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, like honestly, I was talking about that earlier. Like for me, it's not about like how many people, it's about the impact that I can make. If I'm even reaching 1 person or 2 people or 3 people or 5 people, like those people, the inspiration that I pour into their lives, they can take that and like take that to other people and take that into their communities. And so yeah, like this is just me also being consistent. I needed something to be consistent with, because a lot of times I just focus on me and my art, and I'm just like, all right. But yeah, like, thank you. So yeah, this is my bag that I designed, and it is available on my website. And I think that's about it for today. Go check it out. Go check it out. Very soon, very soon. I'm excited. Like, I was actually sketching what I want my like physical pop-up to look like, and so yeah, I have some things in the works, and the magazine will be uploaded to my website. The Alaere Manifesto magazine will be uploaded this week. I promise y'all. Like, it was supposed to go up on the 1st, but life. life. I had like a couple of shoots this weekend, and like I didn't have time. But anyways, let's clear out for today. And of course, I'm gonna light some Palo Santo as we say goodbye. And I just like wanna wish y'all a really great day. And then whoever watches this replay, because I know someone like left a message that they watched a replay of mine yesterday, and I was just like, wow, you know, it really touched you. I'm happy. And I just pray that God will continue to fill our hearts with creativity, passion, love, and light. And may we be cities set upon a hill, okay? Like, we are just these divine embodiments of love and light. And I just pray that we'll continue to stay positive and high vibrational. Avni Sharma says, with this attitude, you will achieve whatever you want in your life. I also want your confidence, your skills, and the motivation you have. Thank you. I appreciate that. Confidence, I feel like confidence for me is really tied to like me knowing that God created me. And so I think like if you really think about the fact that there is a divine creator that sat down and took the time to create you, to me, I'm like, I don't, it doesn't get better than that, you know, like I was created for a reason, and so were you. And in terms of like the skills and stuff, honestly, I give that glory up to God. But I think like if there's something that you want to do and there's something that you want to create, just keep practicing. This did not even, like, my studio at home did not exist like a year and a half, I think, ago. And I just kept coming in here. It was like my younger sister's old bedroom. I turned it into my art studio, and I just kept creating. And at first I didn't love everything that I was making, but I just kept on going. And so I think motivation, skills, confidence, like it all comes from knowing that you were created by God, and God loves you, and God wants you to be happy. And like, I think, you know, whatever your religious beliefs are, all of the religions do believe in a divine creator. I can say that much. And our divine creator, no matter like what it is that you believe in, our divine creator did call us to be these physical embodiments, these human embodiments of that God consciousness. And so once you believe like God made me, God is in me, I am that energy, nobody can tell you anything, okay? And that is where my confidence comes from. That is where my motivation and my perseverance comes from. And then also just knowing that like I want to make a difference, and I have to start somewhere. Like, there's the cringy, like there's always gonna be like the cringy beginning, like where it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm starting and there's only like 2 people or 5 people. But one of my favorite musicians, she was talking, I was watching her interview, and she was talking about how she played a show one time where only 5 people showed up, and she was just so happy that anybody showed up. And I think like I'm just kind of in that place where I'm just like, there's people who don't have to like click and stick around, and there's nobody's like forcing you to subscribe, but like the people who have decided to become a part of my community have done so for a reason. And so I owe it to them to show up, and I owe it to myself and to my dreams and my aspirations to show up. So I hope that whatever, Avni Sharma, whatever you're working on, like I pray that it's successful. And I really appreciate your kind words today. And I hope that you subscribe. Okay, so Rainy said, you know, I came from a country which is rich in culture, and you should definitely come here, but don't only show the garbage in India. There are many things to see, like in India, there's a temple which is made up of gold. I want to go to India. Oh my gosh, you guys have the best jewelry. And then I'm Nigerian, and Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians love Bollywood. And I have a friend who's a musician in India. His name is Mishal Advani. You should check out his music. He's really cool. He makes like house techno music, and I think his sister's like an actress. But yeah, check out Mishal Advani. Like that was one of my really good friends from college, and him and my other friend Jahan, like they were just like really cool, and they were both from India. So I know India is on my list. Like, it's definitely on my list. I would love to just go there and just buy some really beautiful jewelry and just see all of the artistry and the architecture. Like, yeah, it's definitely on my list. So many places. yeah, like definitely check him out. But yeah, like India is on my list for sure. But thank you for tuning in. I know you said it's 3 a.m. over there. I don't want to keep you too long. I myself am about to hop off and like finish up some things in my studio. But yeah, I really appreciate you, Avni. And I really like your name also. So yeah, I'm going to check out for today. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow because I have a shoot, but I am excited. Like whatever comes from the shoot, I will be sharing it on my channel. But yeah, back in my modeling vibe. Yeah, we're working on that portfolio. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And oh, Avni means earth. I like that. I really like that, Avni. I like that. My name Odemi is from Orisha Shejuro Odemi, and it essentially means that like God brought me here to fulfill a purpose, like yeah, at this time and place. Like that's the loose translation. So I love when names have a deeper meaning, and I feel like, you know, Indians, Nigerians, we have that connection. We do. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, Avni. I will be back on Friday, and then I'll be here 3 p.m. Eastern time. But all right, y'all. So I love you guys. Be sure to check out my book, Force of Nature. And also I've placed in the chat the link to check out my artwork if you want to invite some of this divine feminine energy, high vibrational essence into your home or into your space. You can buy my artwork at the link that I've pinned. All right, y'all. I will see y'all on Friday. Mwah. Bye.